We sometimes have this expectation that other people know what we're thinking, what we're feeling, what we're experiencing in a situation or in a conversation. We sometimes expect those closest to us to be mind readers or psychics, and we're not. You can know someone for your entire life and still not know what they're thinking all the time. Now, yes, we could know someone for such a long time that we can anticipate what they may be thinking or what they may be experiencing or what they may be feeling. Instead of you assuming that or assuming that someone knows that, check, ask them, is this what you're feeling? Is this what you're thinking? Instead of expecting people to know what you're thinking, experiencing, and feeling, regardless of how long they've known you, be willing to verbalize that to them when it's clear that they don't know what you're thinking, experiencing, or feeling. And I give people this example all the time, and this is a one-off example, and it's a kind of humorous example. When I was driving my sister and my nephews to a football game one Saturday, and my sister says to me, a car is backing out. I said, I see them, they're not going to hit us. Now we go back and forth with the same cars backing out. I see them, they're not going to hit us for about 5 iterations. And then I parked further than I needed to. And when we got out of the car, my sister says to me, I was telling you that so you could park there. My thoughts in that moment was, it was clear that I didn't understand what you were saying. It was clear that I didn't get it. So instead of simply repeating what you're already saying because you assume that I know what you're thinking, feeling, or experiencing, tell me the second half of that. Tell me what you're thinking that is clear I'm not getting. Now, does that mean that me and my sister don't miscommunicate still to this day? No, because we still do. But now we both know that when it's starting to happen, when we are repeating ourselves, like at about the 3rd time, we're like, wait a minute, what are we missing? Let's stop. We're repeating ourselves. What are we missing? So being able to be aware that, yes, even if you know someone for your entire life and you could probably read them like the back of your hands, they may not always know what you're thinking, feeling, or experiencing. And when it's clear that that is the case, go to that next step and tell them what you're thinking, feeling, and experiencing, because we're not psychics and we're not mind readers, and we shouldn't be expected to be. Lastly, a way that you may miscommunicate is that you may have a tendency to shut down instead of leaning in when conversations get difficult. And what I mean by leaning in is being clear that this is difficult for me. Taking breaks in the conversation and being clear that you need to take those breaks because what you're feeling in this moment feels overwhelming. So saying things such as, I don't want to shut down, I want to hear you, but give me a minute to kind of think about and process what you're saying. Or start to be aware of your emotional responses in that moment. Are you getting upset? Are you getting agitated? Are you feeling some sense of guilt or shame? Are you feeling some level of sadness? Or what is the emotion that is happening for you in that moment that's making this conversation feel difficult and wanting you to shut down? And lean into that. And when you lean into that and that emotion and you understand what that emotion is for you, then you can start to have a conversation from that place and maybe be able to say to the person in that moment, I hear what you're saying, but right now what you're saying is causing me to feel blank. And whatever that emotion is, put that emotion there. And I want you to understand, I'm putting this in therapy speech. And we don't speak therapy. But what I'm giving you now is therapy speak. I want you to put it in your own words. What does that sound like for you? Instead of saying this conversation is making me feel upset or angry, you can say whatever you're saying right now is bothering me. And I can't really put my finger on why it's bothering me. So give me a minute to take this in. I can't put my finger on it right now, but when I can, I'm going to explain it to you. And be willing to do that work and go back and let them know and explain why that bothered you. Why is that something that was upsetting or whatever emotion you felt? Lean into the difficult conversations instead of shutting down. Because when we lean into difficult conversations, we may be able to get to a resolution as opposed to everyone leaving or walking away from a difficult conversation feeling like it's still undone. Like nothing's going to change because we came to no resolution. We came to no consensus. So now everything still feels up in the air. So maybe the next time you take the opportunity to lean into that difficult conversation instead of backing away from it and shutting down. I know, easier said than done.